Hey guys, welcome back to another 1 hour Pilates practice. My name is Stephanie Lee. I'll be your instructor today. All you're going to need here is your body and any cushioned surface, whether that's just a carpet, rug, mat, towel, or blanket. And we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to be lying down on our back for class. Let's start with the knees bent, feet grounded to the floor. Knees and feet will be hip bone width distance apart, nice narrow stance. Arms are going to have length down beside you rather, and angled slightly away with the palms facing up to the sky. This allows shoulders to roll open and to help broaden our chest space. And to find length to spine, I want you to feel your tailbone stretching forward to the front of your workspace. At the same time, the crown of the head reaching to the back so your chin lands about fist distance away from your chest. We'll then softly close the eyes to bring the focus inward. And we'll start by connecting our mind and body through Pilates breathing. Start by taking an inhale through the nose. Softly purse your lips. Exhale a steady stream of air through your mouth. Again, breathe in big to fill to the top. Steady, controlled exhale until you empty completely down to the very bottom. Your breath in starts in the pit of belly, and it fills to the ribs, and it draws into the top of the chest. Exhaling, you want to empty from the top of the chest, press down through your ribs, really squeeze it all out through the lower belly region. Your ribs expanding out wide as you breathe in, filling lungs with air. Then I want you to actively knit your ribs back to your midline as you squeeze breath out from start to finish. Keep an ease with your inhale, but now more power and force with your exhale. Your breath out is now audible and strong. With an ease in the inhale, your abdominal muscles are disengaged and relaxed. When you breathe out with power, those muscles begin to activate, contracting core and firming up belly. We're just going to continue to stay here with this breath and taking the time to build up relationship between that and the powerhouse. Know how they work hand in hand. The quality and effort you bring to your exhale is going to directly affect the quality and engagement and strength of your abdominal region. Let's stay here for 3 more cycles of breath. Couple more. One last time, you want to breathe in big, fill to the top. As you breathe out, gently open the eyes. Breathing in next now, slowly turn your head to look over your right shoulder. Then as you exhale, turning the head slowly to look over the left shoulder. Again, inhale, head slowly swivels to look back over the right shoulder. And then a turn to look over the left shoulder, breathing out. One more in each direction. Inhale, making sure never to pick your head up off the floor at all, keeping it in contact with ground the entire time. And then looking as far over that left shoulder as you can one last time. And then bringing your head back to a neutral centered position. Once there, let's go ahead and lift the arms to the sky with the palms turned in. Working next into the shoulders, let's breathe in to lift the backs of shoulders away from the floor. Fingertips reach to the sky. Breathing out, plug those shoulders back into sockets. Again, you want to feel the shoulders lift away from their home, reach up, shrug up, and then exhale, return back to space, rooting down. Let's do that again. Inhale, shrug up. Exhale, actively press to the earth. Last one here, reach to the sky on an inhale. Root to the earth, exhale, keeping the backs of your shoulders anchored. Next breath in, arms slowly reach to the back of your workspace. Feel the ribs seal down and the spine imprint to the ground. Exhale, circle the arms out, pull them in beside you. Again, arms lift up and reach back. Belly starts to firm up here, and then keep the core strong as you circle the arms through. Breath releasing. 2 more times. Last one here, lift up, reach back, breathe in. Circle through on the exhale, and then once the arms land in close, press them actively to the floor and inhale here. Next, we use our core strength, breathing out to lift feet off floor. Slowly bring the knees in towards chest. Once there, place hands on knees. We're now going to use our hands for guidance. We'll start to draw circles with our legs. This will help to massage and roll out your lower back just above your tailbone. Making sure that the legs aren't really efforting that much. It's more through your hands guiding you through. Okay, let's take a moment to pause and reverse direction. Slowly begin to bring your legs back into stillness. Let's next hold the right knee with both hands and stretch the left leg to the floor. Anchor that left leg down and then use both hands to hug your right leg in closer to you, helping to stretch the glute and the lower back here on the right side. While you hug in, pull the shoulders further away from your ears. We'll add to this by circling the right foot, helping to warm into and roll out the ankle. And reverse direction. Then the foot will come back into stillness. We're going to keep the right hand at the knee, just take the left arm out to its side. So now the left side of your body, the leg and the arm are both anchors and stabilizers for the rest of your body. While we use our right hand here to draw big, slow, and full circles with our right leg, working into the mobility of the hip. So the opening up of the leg to its side is a really key point to open the hip itself, and then circling through. And then you're wanting to use your abdominal strength and your left side of body to really keep you steady everywhere else. The next time the leg opens out to the side, I want you to just hook your right arm behind the crook of the leg there, and then use that arm strength to pull the leg up and in, but also try to open the leg out more to its side. It stretches a bit into the inner thigh and groin, so we're going to keep that there while also keeping the hip open in space. Big breaths in, long breaths out. If you feel like you want a little bit more intensity, starting to straighten the leg away from body and push out through the heel. Big inhales, big exhales. We'll stay here one last time. Big breath in. As you exhale, your leg head straightened, rebend the knee first, then pull your belly in to draw the leg back in line with its hip. Release the hook around. Take your left hand to the outside of the right knee. Open your right arm out to its side. Now, using your left hand, begin to slowly guide leg across the body. As you look over your right shoulder, ease yourself into a spinal twist. Remembering that we don't necessarily arrive here right away. It does take some time and getting acclimated to rotation to really settle into form. So using your breath to guide you here in space. The exhales allowing you to let go a bit more, land a little more, twist a little more. A couple more cycles. But one more big breath in. Firm up your belly as you exhale to unwind the body slow, return to center. Once you have, let your right leg go, lengthen it out to meet your left. Then take a moment to feel the difference between either side. Your right side may now feel just a little bit longer than your left. Let's take it to that left side now. So bringing the knee in with both hands, holding on, hug the leg towards body. Again, this is for the glute, for the lower back, but we often tend to kind of tense our shoulders up to the ears. So making sure they're pulling down and away from. Now, keeping in this hug, let's circle the foot. Take your time to roll through the ankle. Reversing direction. Wonderful. Take that foot into still. Open your right arm to its side. So now the right side of your body is your anchor. Left hand still at the knee. Let's circle the left leg around. Movement through the hip joint. So again, the opening of the leg out to its side is a really key point. And then making sure your abdominal muscles are activated so it prevents the rest of your body from kind of lifting and peeling up off of the ground. Steady breathing so the quality of it does not get lost. Wonderful. Then the next time the leg opens out to its side, I want you to hold it there, kind of hook and slip your arm around the crook of the knee behind it, and then use the strength of your arm to open the leg out further, and then also hug it closer towards your armpit. So this does require a fair amount of arm strength here, or effort rather, not necessarily, you don't have to be really strong, but you do have to effort the hold with that arm in space. Again, you can start to straighten the leg away from the body, pushing through the heel if that works for you, and maybe perhaps want to intensify it just a little bit more. Big breaths in. Long breaths out. Twice more. One last time, we'll breathe in big. If the leg is straight, rebend the knee first, firm up the belly, exhaling, bring the leg slowly back in line with its hip. And the right hand comes over to the leg as the left arm extends out. And then now you'll use your right hand to slowly guide leg across body while looking over the left shoulder for spinal twist. Breathe deep in space, expanding and contracting your midsection on the inhales and the exhales. Make sure that the backs of both shoulders stay anchored to the floor. Stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. On that second round, the core tightens up to help unwind you, breathing out back to centered position. From here, bending knees, grounding feet, and taking the arms back beside you. Next, I'd like us to stretch to the outer hips and the glutes. We're going to do a varied version of figure 4 stretch. So for today, we're going to take our right leg, cross it over the left leg. So imagine you're sitting in a chair cross-legged, no space between legs. We're then going to draw the knees towards the chest. With either hand, grab hold of each leg as far down as you can without your shoulders straining up. Once you have a nice tight hold, I want you to hug your legs closer to you. That already starts the stretch, but then what happens is the tailbone starts to lift up. So once you have your hug in, I then want you to bring that tailbone back to the floor. Option to keep your feet low and relaxed as I am here, or if you want, not necessarily more, just a different sensation, you can flex your feet, begin to lift your feet upward, which takes your legs a bit more to a 90-degree angle. We're focusing on that right outer hip to start, so breathe into that space. Good, keep checking in with that tailbone. Let's stay here for 3 more cycles. After that 3rd round, gently let that stretch release, and we'll switch sides. Left leg crossing over right leg now. Bringing both knees back towards the body, holding onto a leg with each hand, and hugging the legs in. Then dropping the tailbone away, which will pull the legs a bit away from you, but then you're creating that push-pull energy, which is really great for depth of stretch. Again, feet can stay low and relaxed, or they can flex and begin to lift. Focusing on and breathing into now your left outer hip, big inhales and steady exhales. 3 more cycles here. Last round. Exhaling, let the stretch release. Uncross your legs, take your feet to the ground. Next, we're going to be working into the back side of each leg. Let's lift the start with the right leg lifting up, holding from behind with both hands. Feel the anchoring down of tailbone. Then you'll take the back of leg and push forward into the hands. And then finally bend your elbows and bring the leg closer to you, but without the knee bending. Remember, if knee bends, we lose stretch. So length of leg is really key here. So we focus on this hamstring to start. Next, to add to this, we're going to flex the foot here, drive heel to sky, and then point through the toes. Again, heel to sky, and point the toes. One last time, flexing of the foot, and then pointing through the toes. You'll then relax the foot, release the leg, bending your knee, taking your foot to the floor. Let's take it to the other side. Left leg lifting up, holding, and anchoring the tailbone. Push forward first with the back of leg into hands, and then use the hands to bring the leg closer to you. Now we'll flex the left foot here, and then point through your toes. Again, heel to sky, and point. Once more here, flexed foot. Good, pointed toes. We'll then relax the foot, release the leg, bend your knee, foot to ground. Take a moment to realign the knees and feet back up with your hip bones. Also make sure your ankles are stacked underneath the knees. The arms are going to have full length now down beside you, actively pressed to the floor. Let's take our right leg again and lift it up with toes pointed to hold that space so that the leg becomes active and strong. Externally rotate thigh to keep the hip open. When you breathe in next, I want that right leg to begin to lower slow towards the floor. You're going to find a level of lowering that works best for your body that you can maintain. And then breathing out, your abdominal muscles engage to help lift that leg back to starting position again. Inhale, resistance, lowering down. Firm up belly. Pull the leg back up. Let's do a couple more. Inhale, lowering downward. Exhale, slowly pulling up. One last time here. Reach through toes for length. And then exhale, lift that leg to sky. Once it's landed here, let's extend the left leg to the ground with a flex in the foot. And then anchor it to the floor firm. Cross the right leg now slightly over body. Keep your core strong. Draw a small circle, sweeping down, opening slightly out to its side, and then restack the leg above hip. Now, what we're trying to focus on here is stabilizing our pelvis so our hips don't rock. Cross again over body, breathe in. Take your time to circle through so you can really maintain the control over your movements. We'll do 2 more this direction. Cross over, breathe in. You can increase the size of circle if you want more intensity. Last time here, cross over, breathing in, circle around, breathing out, stop right at the top. Now we'll reverse direction. We'll open the leg to start now, breathing in, circle through as you breathe out. Keep the backs of your hips firmly grounded. Open leg to its side, inhale, circle through with control. Exhale 2 more times. One last here, open up, breathing in, circle through, breathing out. Bring the knee to chest from here. Draw circles with that leg. And that's just to help massage out the hip flexor that sometimes can grip in that movement. So we're just going to massage it out, let it go. We're going to do that on the other side next. So when you're ready, we're going to return the right foot to the ground with the knee bent. Then we're going to take our left leg, lift it to sky with toes pointed so that you can help to externally rotate thigh. Taking a breath in now, that left leg begins to slowly lower with length forward coming down. And then breathe out. We're not using any momentum or swing factor. We're using muscle strength and breath work. Let's do that again. Reaching away from the body as you lower towards the floor. So the belly pull in really deeply as you draw the leg back up again. 2 more times. Good. Use your arms to your advantage. They're not just resting there, they're working. Last time here, inhale, coming down. Lifting up on the breath out, holding here. Let's take the right leg now, extend it to floor with a flex in the foot so the leg can anchor firm to the earth. Single leg circle on the left side. We cross the leg over, slight on an inhale. Draw a little circle, sweeping down, around, and up. Exhale. Again, crossing over, breathing in. Circling through, breathing out. 2 more this direction. Right leg and both arms are helping to stabilize you. Once more here. Stopping at the top so that we can now reverse direction, opening the leg, breathing in, circling through, breathing out. So while this left leg has movement, everything else should be like a statue, nice and still. We open on a breath in. We circle through slowly on the breath out. Let's do 2 more. Pelvis, strong and stable and still. Last one here, opening on a breath in, circling around on the breath out. Afterwards, bring the knee to chest, place the hand on the knee, and just draw some circles to release and massage out the hip flexor. So what we're essentially doing is we're strengthening our abdominals, but we're also strengthening the muscles that kind of surround the hip region. We're going to work next into double leg circles. So those were single leg circles. Now we're going to do both legs at the same time. So let's lift legs to sky with toes pointed here. Remember that we often tend to pull our legs in too close. Why? Because it's easier for our body. So just making sure it's not the feet you want to think about stacked above you, it's the knees. And generally speaking, our feet will be just slightly further forward in front of us. But with toes pointed here, we're going to externally rotate our thighs so the inner edges of your heels kind of touch and the toes start to splay out, creating a slight V in your feet. So double leg circles. We're first going to start with opening the legs up to the biggest straddle that you can create. Inhaling. Breathing out, sweep the legs downward, bring them together, and then lift them to sky. So the further down you swoop your legs, the more intense it will be for your abdominals. Let's do that again. Opening to straddle on an inhale. So maybe you barely sweep down, and that's actually quite okay. So find a range of motion that's going to work for you. We're going to do just 2 more in this direction. Open on a breath in. Circle through. Lift, breath out. 1 more time, opening, breathing in, circling through, breathing out, and now we reverse here. We'll start now by lowering the legs away from the body on an inhale, and then opening up, circling up, and bring them back together. Exhale. Again, come down, breathing in, open, circle up and through, breathing out. 2 more here, come down. Circling up 1 last time. After the last, bring both knees in, hands on knees, and thigh stirs. Circling your legs out and back in. Again, it's a hip flexor massage, but also continues to work on the mobility of the hips. Hips are a really common area that become really tense or tight or closed even. So we work a lot with opening and kind of working through that area of the body. Let's take those legs together next. Bring the feet back to the ground, knees and feet back to hip width. Let's take the hands at the back of our head. So we were certainly working our abdominal region, but this is going to help now moving our upper body through the strength of our core, through ab curls. Let's breathe in to prepare. Breathing out, firm belly. Now peel up your head, your neck, your shoulders. Arms are still wide, eyes towards your navel. Lower to the floor again, breathing in. Again, exhale. Pulling up. Come down, breathing in. We'll do 2 more before we add on. Come down on an inhale. One last time, lifting up. Good, and coming back down to the floor. Let's pause here so that we can take our legs into tabletop. Remember, knees above hips, even though it's a lot more tempting to bring them in, so your tailbone stays rooted. And it is helpful to hug your legs together so they work as one rather than 2 separate. Let's take a breath in. Again, we lift up, breathing out. Make sure the legs don't draw closer to you as you do. Lower to the floor, breathing in. Again, exhale. Coming up. And then taking it down, breathing in. 2 more of these. Beautiful. Come down on an inhale. One last time. Good. Return to the ground and pause. Let's lift legs to sky next. Remember, drop that tailbone in. Inhale. Again, another lift. Come down, breathe in. Again. Lower, inhaling. 2 more times. Come down on an inhale. One last, let's lift up. Well, let's stay lifted. Release your hands. Bring the arms beside you to a hover. They're stiff like a board. Pump those arms down vigorously, but keep everything else in your body nice and still. You can, if you like, lower the legs closer towards the floor for more heat. For 10, breathe it out. 9, belly strong. 8, 7, reach your toes. 6, good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then rest. Bring the knees in, let the head come down. Some movement here if you'd like. Or stillness if you prefer. We just take time to give our bodies a little bit of rest points so that we can balance between effort and ease. Let's next extend both legs to the floor. Your legs are a really key component to this next movement. So making sure they're not just, again, laying there hanging out. They're working and active. So we push through heels, we bring the feet to parallel, and we roll and hug the inner thighs to the midline of our body. Then we'll bring the arms behind us. When that happens, we often tend to let the ribs pop. So we're going to seal the ribs back in, and we're going to also zip the pubic bone up towards the navel. We're working next into our roll-ups. So breathing in, begin to peel your body off floor. Arms, head, and shoulders begin the lift. And then exhale, continue to bring the body all the way upright to seated. Sit tall, then a big, slow hinge and fold over legs to stretch the backside of the body. We'll then take an inhale to lift back up, fingertips to the sky. Exhaling, tuck the tailbone, scoop the belly, round the spine, push through heels as you slowly return back to the floor again. Another inhale, start it up. Use your breath when you need it the most, especially that exhale, we're folding forward. Come upright on an inhale. Roll down slower than you'd like to. Exhale, always looking straight on so the chin isn't tempted to drive down to chest. We'll do this a couple more times. Inhale, start it up, about to the tips of shoulder blades. Breathing out, stacking tall, and a big fold. Make sure the head hangs heavily through the arms. Coming tall again, breathing in. Now arms slightly behind ears while coming down. Articulate your spine. Keep rounding, rounding. Grounding. Let's do that once again. Give yourself a head start by breathing in to begin. Up, fold. We'll stack upright on an inhale. We're going to stay seated. We're just going to exhale, bend the elbows and bring your arms into a cactus position down along your side. So I'll take a little twist here so you can see 90 degrees at either side of us. Fingers are spread for energy. My elbows always level with my shoulders and my wrists always stacked above my elbows. Shoulder blades behind you hug in and slide down your back, and your belly pulls in and up. You can bend your knees here a little bit if you find that helps you to sit taller. Let's breathe right in here at center. As you exhale, you're going to use your waist to help twist and pull you over to the right. Come back to center, inhale. So again, we're stabilizing our pelvis by not allowing our legs to shift. Twisting now to the left. Feel the right arm resisting you so it doesn't continue to cross over the body. Come back to center, inhale. Make sure not to look at the floor. You want to let your eyes travel along the horizon as you rotate to maintain your length. Come back to center, breathing in. Think about getting taller as you twist now to your left, like you're climbing up a spiral staircase. Come back to center, breathe in. Keep those shoulder blades hugged still behind you. Let's do one more to each. Back over to the right, breathing out. Inhale back to center. Once more here. Return to center, stay centered, inhaling. Exhale, press arms to sky. Breathe in, bend elbows, pull them back to cactus. Exhale, press. Inhale to pull back down. Press. Inhale, pull. Again, press, working shoulders and upper back. Draw down, breathing in. 4 more of these. 4. Pull to cactus. 3 more. Good. So you don't even need to use the weights to get the shoulders fired up. 2 more. Press. Inhale to pull down. Last one. Press. Pull back to cactus on an inhale. Exhale the arms directly out to their sides. Draw circles now with your arms. Lock those shoulder blades in behind you. Plug the shoulders down into sockets and keep your core in nice and tight. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Good. Pause. Reverse direction. Reach those fingertips for length and energy. 3. Keep your posture. 2. Core strong. 1. Good. Melt slowly forward over legs. Let your feet relax. Your upper body hang heavy here. Take some deep breaths in and some long breaths out. Again, you want to breathe in deep. Let's slowly roll up to seated as you exhale. Let's get a nice deep stretch into the upper back. We're going to bend the knees. And then we're going to wrap our arms as tightly as we can behind our legs. Then really grip the arms as firmly as you can with your hands. This really tight wrap and grip is going to be important for the stretch itself. Then we're going to press the chin into the chest and keep it as such. As you start to round your spine, you want to think about pulling yourself far away from your legs. But at the same time, I want you to feel the backs of your legs push the arms away from you. So you're fighting again between push and pull, deepening the stretch across the upper back. So I want you to breathe between your shoulder blades, inhaling. Exhale it out. Couple more. One last, breathe in big. As you exhale now, start to pull yourself back towards your thighs, start to stack the spine, release the grip of your arms and let the arms relax beside you. We're next going to come into a cross-legged position. I'm just going to space forward here so you can see me a little bit more easily. We're going to be stretching into the neck and shoulder region. So sitting up nice and tall here, having the arms beside you and then tense your fingers. From there, take your hands a step away from you and then push into the fingertips to allow your body to stay upright and tall. We're next going to tilt the right ear down to the right shoulder, which will help to stretch the left side of the neck. If you want more intensity and it's available to you, you can wrap your right arm around the head, placing your hand along the left side, then very lightly bring a little bit of pressure down. Sometimes when we do this, we lose our posture, so make sure the chest is still up. Just feel that elbow, that right one, pull back to help open your chest space. Then staying in this tilt with your head, I want you to breathe in, start to lower your chin towards your chest, which will help stretch more the back side of your neck. And then as you breathe out, lift your chin up towards the sky. Good, again, chin towards chest, breathing in. Chin towards the sky, breathing out. Once more here, chin to chest on an inhale. And then chin up towards the sky on the exhale. Let's breathe in to bring your head back to the starting stretch position. Keep it there as you breathe out. Hand first releases, arm then lowers, and then lastly, head will gently come up. So with this stretch, you really want to be mindful to come out of it really easily. If we just quickly yank out of it, it won't feel so nice on our neck and shoulder region. So let's go to the other side. Left ear pulling down to left shoulder. If you'd like, or if it's available to you, left arm can wrap with the hand lightly pressing down along the right side. And then check your posture once you've done that, just to make sure it hadn't gotten lost. So now, of course, we're stretching into the right side of our neck. Adding to this, we breathe in to lower the chin downward, which again helps to stretch more to the back side. And then as you breathe out, the chin will lift up, which wraps it around to the front side. Again, chin coming down, breathing in. Chin lifting upward on the breath out. Let's do that again. Chin towards chest on an inhale. Chin to the sky on the exhale. We'll bring our head back to starting stretch position. And then hand will release, arm will lower down, and then very gently the head will come up once it has very soft tips from side to side, just kind of loosening up what we've stretched out. And then some nods straight up and down. Looking straight ahead. Before we continue on to our next movement, I'd like us just for a moment to warm up our wrists. So let's take our hands, clasp them together and with interlaced fingers. Then take the forearms, press them together. Start to create a figure 8 movement with your hands. Of course, your arms will have a bit of movement, but we don't want the entire arm to be working through this snaked kind of movement, just working through the hands so you get more focus to your wrists, rolling them out and getting all the synovial fluid. They're nice and active to help support them as we work through our exercise coming up. Let's reverse direction of movement. And this might take a moment, it might feel a little funny. As humans, we're used to doing things in a dominant way. So it might take some feeling into to get it to work the other side. All right, and then let's let the hands release, let them just hang heavy and shake them out. Okay, so we're going to transition next into a tabletop position, coming onto our hands and knees. I'm going to turn back again sideways so you can see me better. So you want your fingers to be spread out as wide as you can take them. And then even gripping the floor with your fingertips. Both of those things are really going to help to keep your wrists in support. You want those wrists stacked underneath your shoulders, and you want your knees underneath your hips with a hip width distance apart between them. Softened elbows if you tend, like for me, I've got hyperextensive arms. So I need to be mindful that my elbows stay soft. I don't want my joints to lock. I want to rely on my muscles to support me. And then notice if you're kind of just like hanging out and collapsing into your arms. I want you to lift out of the arms, send your heart forward and look slightly beyond the front of your workspace. Then to prevent the lower back from swaying, pull your belly in and up. Now we'll take a breath in. Exhaling, I want your right leg to stretch behind you as your left arm extends forward. And then I want your heart to follow that left hand to the front. Push through the right heel and point the pinky toe to the floor. Lift out of the right arm if you started to fall back into it, and plug that left shoulder back into its socket. Keeping here on a breath in, I want your arm and leg to begin to lower now, barely lightly touching down the ground with your fingertips and your toes. Breathing out, pull arm and leg back up to line with your spine. Again, slow lowering on an inhale. And then pull back up. Exhale. 4 more. 4. 3 more. Check your structure. 2 more times. Coming down. Light tap. Pulling up. 1 last. Come down. Lift up. Stay here. Breathing in. Now opening arm and leg to their sides. Bring it around to center, inhale. Again, we want just the arm and leg to move. Chest stays steady and still. Center, just 2 more of these. Good, bring it back in line with spine. 1 last, opening out to the sides. Good, coming back around to center. And then come back to tabletop. Take a pause in child's pose. So this is a full body exercise. You have to be equally aware of both the moving and the non-moving parts in your body. If you just focus on one side, the other one more than likely will be compromised. So we just have to be kind of full encompassing of our awareness of our body. Let's do the other side. Come back again to tabletop. Structure it out. So we're not just hanging out, we're working already, lifting out of arms, sending heart forward, pulling the belly in and up, breathing in. As you breathe out, left leg stretches back and right arm reaches forward. Heart follows the hand because we often tend to push our weight back. We want to draw our weight forward. Flexing through the foot so the pinky toe points down to keep your hips level with each other. Notice if you fell into your left arm again, you're going to lift out. And if your right shoulder has pulled up towards your jawline, you want to pull that back into its shoulder socket. Breathing in next, light tap down with fingertips and toes. Breath out, pull back up. Again, lowering on an inhale. So your grounded arm and leg are working to hold your weight and steady it. 4 more. Your lifted arm and leg, of course, are working for movement. And your core is intact the entire time. Twice more. 1 more time. Light tap down to the earth. Lifting in line with spine, breathing out. Take an inhale while you're here. Pardon me. Exhale, open arm and leg to their sides. Bring it around to the front again and the back behind you. Inhale. Again, extension out to sides. Twice more. Come back in line. Inhaling. Open slowly. Exhale. Last time here. Inhale. Forward and back. Exhale to the sides. Come back around on an inhale. Tabletop exhale. And child's pose. Rest. It sometimes is nice to stretch the arms behind you. Instead, it does allow for the shoulders to release a little bit more here in space. Big inhales to fill up. Steady exhales to let go. We'll do a couple more here. Last time, inhale. Let's slowly pull it out of child's pose, breathing out. And let's go ahead and transition to lie down on the left side of our body. We'll get some outer hip strengthening next through side leg work. So once you made your way onto your left side, you just want to make sure that you're in a long line of energy and that you're stacked. You're going to place your right hand to your hip and point that elbow up to the sky. We're next going to flex both feet, push through the heels, and then anchor the entire left side of your body into the floor. Hover your right leg to start with it slightly rolled in and then look straight on, pull your belly in and up. Taking an inhale. Breathing out, use your hip strength to lift that right leg up a little higher. And then hover the leg down, breathing in. Again, lifting the leg. And then hovering it back down. Twice more. Good, hover with resistance. One more here, exhale, pull the leg up. This time, just take the leg down half of the way. From that space, we're going to slowly bring that leg slightly forward. When we pull the leg forward, it's very tempting for our upper body to draw back. Make sure your upper body stays as is, which will require much more core strength to hold you in place. Second set of lifts, exhaling up, and then inhaling, coming down. So we're still working the outer hip with a little bit more emphasis to the abdominal region. Lifting, and then hovering. We'll take two more here. Pulling up, hovering down. One last. Come back into a halfway lower. Then slowly bring the leg back in line with everything else. Then now reach the leg slightly behind you. This time point your toes actively and reach behind you. Glute and hip is next for last set of 4. We're lifting leg behind. And then we're hovering down. Breathe in. Again. Good. Hover. 2 more times here. Pulling up. Slow guide back down. One last time. Lifting leg behind. Good. Bringing it down half the way. Slowly bring leg in line with the rest of body. And then we'll draw circles, moving through the hip joint rather than the foot itself. So all our mechanisms of movement are the closest to the core as we can keep them for stability. 3, take your time with these. 2, upper body like a statue. 1, pause. Good. Reversing direction. Inhale, exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Slowly take the leg down. Bend your knee to the floor in front of you. Just take a moment to lightly tap out that hip. We're just kind of breaking up some of that lactic acid that sometimes gets built up through these side leg exercises. So we're going to work next with our bottom leg, strengthening the inner thigh, but also really working with our deep-rooted lower abdominal pelvic floor muscles. So we're going to take that right foot and step it behind the left leg, and then angle the left leg a bit more in front. Your hand comes back to your hip and your elbow points back up to the sky. We're going to flex the left foot, hover the leg, and externally rotate it. Inner thigh, lower core, we breathe in. Exhale, we pull the leg up. We hover it down on an inhale. Again, exhale, lifting. And then hovering. We'll do 4 more here. 4. Hovering down. 3 more. Good. Hover 2 more times. Pull up. Hover on the way down. One last, let's lift up leg and hold it in space. Inhale next, bend the knee, bring the knee towards body. And then exhale, push away towards sky. Again, draw the leg in on an inhale. Drive away on the exhale. 4 more of these. Bring it in. Push it away. Good. 3 more in. Press out, press up. Good. 2 more times. Inhaling. Exhaling. Last time. Pull it in. Good. Press out, press up. Hold it. We pulse, pulse, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg comes down nice and slow. We're going to do all of that on the other side next. So however it's easiest for you to transition to your right side body. So again, long line and stacked up, hand to hip, elbow up to the sky. The belly's in nice and tight here, and we're flexing through our feet. The entire right side of you is pressing actively to floor to stabilize you. Your left leg is going to hover, roll it in slight. So we really focus on the outer hip rather than our quad. Let's look straight on and begin again. Exhale, the leg pulls up. Then hover with resistance. Right, so no dropping quick, no swinging up, lifting through muscle strength. And then hovering down with control. We're just going to do 2 more of these before we add in our angles. Lift. Good. Hover it down. Once more here, we're pulling the leg up. We're just going to take the leg down half the way this time. Once there, bring the leg slightly forward without your upper body pulling back. Breathing out, the leg will pull up again. So a little bit more core is required here. Hover down to stabilize you. Pull leg up. And then hover it back down. We'll do 2 more here. Lift leg. Hover leg. Good. 1 more time. Pull leg up. And then only take down half the way again. Once there, bring the leg slowly back in line with everything else. Then reach the leg behind. Now point through the toes. Working hip, working glute. We lift the leg back behind us. And we hover down. Again, lift. Good, hover. 2 more of these. Lift. Good, hover it down. 1 last, pull the leg up. Take down half the way. Slowly bring the leg in line with the rest of the body so that we can now draw circles with that leg. Take your time. We don't want to rush these. Otherwise, we tend to lose balance. So keep it slow, keep it small, keep it controlled. Breathe at 3. Good. 2, 1. Let's pause. Reverse direction. Inhale, exhale. 5. Reach to those toes. Good. 4. Keep moving through the hip though. 3, 2, 1. Good. Let the leg slowly come down. Then you can bend the knee in front of you. Get a little tap out or roll out or rub out of the hip. We will certainly stretch our hips out a little bit more after we've completed our leg work. Okay. Let's move to our bottom leg next. So left foot stepping behind, right leg angling a bit more in the front, hand back to hip. Lifted leg, flexed foot, external rotation of thigh, leading with heel, but working inner thighs and lower abdominal region. So breathe out, cinch it in, squeeze it out and pull it up. Good, come back down, breathe in, cinching the belly, pushing out the breath, lifting the leg. Good, so these lifts are fairly small. We don't want our pelvis to fall back. 4 more, 4. Take it down. 3 more. Good. Hover 2 more times. We lift. Good. Hovering. Once more. And keep it here. Breathe in now. Bend the knee. Bring it in towards you. And then push out on that leg. Breathing out. Again, draw the leg in. Drive out, drive up. 4 more of these. 4. Push it away. 3 more. Good. 2 more. In. Push out, push up. 1 last time. Bring the knee in. Exhale, push the leg away. Hold it out long. Pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. Micro lifting, isolation, and control. Breathe. 5. Pumping up. 4. Good. 3, 2, 1. Let the legs slowly come all the way back down to the floor. Let's take a moment to stretch our hips and our inner thighs through butterfly stretch. When you're ready, we'll press to seated. I'm going to turn around again, or quarter turn here, to show you a side profile. The soles of the feet will come together. The knees are going to open up, and you want to sit up really tall to start. You want to begin with a nice flat back as you hinge from the hips and lean in towards your legs. Now, of course, you'll be looking at the ground, but not straight down. You want to always be looking a few feet out in front of you to maintain your spinal length. Even through folding, which we're going to do next, there's still length to our body. So start by rounding lower back, middle back, but continue to stretch your heart forward, upper back, and then letting the head come down partially, but I still want you to look beyond your toes, rather, not between your toes. Big inhales to the hips. Long exhales to release. Again, big inhale. Steady exhale. Twice more. One more time. Breathe in big. As you breathe out, slowly begin to roll back up, stack back up, one vertebra at a time, your head, the last to arrive. Once it has, we're going to cross our legs and get a nice side body stretch for our waistline. Grounding your sits bones, taking an inhale now, reach the right arm straight to the sky. Breathe out, stretch over to your left side. When you inhale next, just the arm, bend your right elbow, pull the elbow down towards your hip. And then breathe out, reach that arm up and overhead again. Feel that from the hip all the way out through the arm. Again, we pull down on the elbow, but nothing else shifts or moves. Exhale, reach across the room with that right arm. Twice more, bend and pull down. Exhale, stretch up and over. Once more here, elbow bends, it pulls down towards the hip, and we stretch overhead. Take another inhale to hold this space. Breathe out, firm up your belly, stack up the body, and let that arm come down at your side. Let's switch. Left arm reaching straight up, breathing in. Reaching over to the right side, breathing out. Staying here in position, inhale, bend the left elbow, pull it down towards the hip. And then exhale, reach overhead. Again, bend elbow, pull down towards hip. And then exhale, reach across the room. Twice more, inhale, coming down. Exhale, reaching across. Once more. Good. As you reach that left arm across the room, hold here to take a big breath into the left side of the body. Firming belly again, stacking up slowly and letting that arm come back along your side. Once it has, have both palms facing the sky, chest up, shoulders back, belly in. Inhaling, the arms reach out and up with the hands lightly touching above the head. Breathing out, take your hands down through midline and connect to your heart center. We'll do that twice again. Inhale, sweep down, reach out, lift up nice and high, and then exhale, a connection within. Last time here, inhaling, gathering up energy between the arms and holding it above you. Take that energy, bring it within inside of you, where your hands stay right there at the heart. Chin comes down to chest, closed eyes, bowing in and thanking self for showing up to the practice today, for showing up to the work, for showing up to yourself. We're given this one body, so it's important that we listen to it, honor it, respect it, and to keep it moving for a lifetime. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another hour of Pilates practice. Stay tuned for more to come. Have a great day, guys. Thanks so much.